Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Makwanas Podcast. I can't believe this. It is our first ever episode in year 2024. So we are basically kickstarting the year on a high note. And as you know, I'm not doing this on my own. I'm with my one and only husband. Remember the other day I shot a video and I was screaming. I was like, yeah, I'm getting into year 2024 with the same guy. And he's right here sitting next to me. Papi, how are you?
2024 with the same girl that I fell in love with. Compliments of the new season, everyone. It's a wonderful pleasure to be hosting you today. My name is Mompoloki Makwana, and beside me is the First Lady, Nikita Makwana. So, how are you doing?
I've been doing amazing. I think mostly I've been feeling more grateful for preservation year 2023. It's not everybody who crossed to the new season, and I've been feeling more privileged. You know, God has really been amazing to us as a family, to our friends, our loved ones. So it's a beautiful year altogether, and I'm really anticipating beautiful things coming up for us.
Amazing. What would you say is your major highlight for the year 2023 as we are moving into 2024? What would you say when you look back? This is just like your major highlight?
Wow, I think it's really been a couple of things to be grateful for, and just one of the obvious is just being healthy, you know, staying alive. I feel like most of the time when you ask people that kind of a question, they try to find out if they got a career breakthrough. They try to find out if did I buy a car, did I build a house, did I do this. But sometimes it's about being staying alive, being healthy. You know, those things that you can't do for yourself. Staying alive, that's one thing you can't do for yourself. But I would say it's the biggest highlight. And the second thing is marital bliss. I've been blessed with a beautiful home, and for that I return the glory to God. I thank God for career advancement. I think 2023 is one of the toughest year with regard to my career. I had to make tough decisions in year 2023 so that I can go to where I wanted to go, and it has been tough. I think that maybe to give specifications around March, right? I talked about making monumental transitions and letting go of some things regarding my career. I had to let go of one of my office so that I can move to the next. So that was a bit challenging. Not a bit, it was very challenging, but I'm glad that I did that. So it's a lot. I feel like if I took to count my blessings, I'm gonna spend the whole day doing that.
The whole episode.
Yeah, maybe I should also throw the same question to you. What has been the highlight of 2023 for you?
I think I will just copy and paste the answers you have shared. You talked about just the being alive and being able to just look back and say, I'm still here. And there's a famous quote that I love a lot, that if you are still here, you are still in the game. And anything else that you want to achieve, accomplishment, growth, and every other element, they can still come if you are still here.
In the game.
But for me, the journey and the beauty of it has been our first year in this marital bliss and getting to know you. I think I've shared this before, even we started the podcast. I'm getting to know you. And as my mission as your husband is to see you happy, is to see you thrive, is to see you do the things you do, to see you grow. And I've seen that in the first year, you going to the Forbes, you know, you being even, you know, there are so many things that you managed to...
Countless.
The breakthrough. And for me, the joy is beyond just me being able to do the things I do as an individual, and now being able to co-parent the dream, the vision. It has been amazing to see the adjustment and how much I'm willing to go to accommodate you into my life. And for me, I think that is something that I want us to explore more. And the conversation around the reflection of the
Yeah.
first anniversary and how having someone in your life, it changes everything.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
changes everything. I'm laughing, remembering just a day ago, you were not crying. You were like, in the bathroom, and I heard you complaining about something. You say, baby, you know I don't like sharing this one with you, and it's the adjustment. It's part of it. For me, I'm enjoying every bit of it, even going into 2024 to see the kind of person you are and you evolving. That's part of it, of what I'm grateful for. I'm also grateful for the journey. I think we're more committed as a couple, to being able to, commit to God and to see things change and, talking about the things of the first fruits, talking about the things of just intentionally giving and provoking God's blessings. And we have seen them tangible, not something we have heard about other people. And seeing us believe about a certain thing that we want to have as a family.
And then we have
now
it.
being able to see it, even our prophet being able to confirm it. That was
Mind-blowing,
just, for
isn't
me,
it?
Mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing.
And I'm just bubbling with the confidence for the new year of 2024 on what we are able to accomplish just in a year. One of the highlight trips is, you remember the flight we took from South Africa to Eswatini?
Yeah.
There was a point where I was like, honey, is this flight working? Because I'm not going to name anything, but I remember the experience we had when we were doing the Public Speaking Africa tour, which is coming even this year, and we were taking that flight in the evening to Eswatini. It was a highlight. I think if there was an ever moment we were holding hands and
scared for our lives,
was that moment. And we are here.
It was quite an adventure, and just maybe to make it specific for someone out there, when this flight and guys, we were there, and it was feeling like I was in a truck going to Kasane. It was going go, 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 that kind of turbulence. I have never been that scared in my life. And I've never held you that tight in my life. I don't know what I believed you're gonna be able to do, or how you're gonna assist me. But I just believed somehow you were going to help me.
Yes.
So it was crazy. Thank you so much for bringing that.
That memory.
It's a beautiful recap.
It was such
Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was such a beautiful recap.
Yeah.
And now let me allow you to take us through the year. 2024 is a year of better days.
Yeah.
Better days are here. And we know our prophet B.F. Rams has declared 2022 is a year of better days. Last year was a year 2024. Why was it 22?
I don't know.
2024 is a year of
better days.
Yes. Last year we experienced the joy in just 2023 as a year of ownership. We have seen ownership
in so many things
and in so many aspects. What is your takeaway with regards to 2024 as a year of better days, and also to declare some blessings even to people that are watching our podcast today?
Wow. Most of the times when you hear a prophetic word, or when a word is released, it is for you to take action and to do something about it. That has always been key to me. There is no need for you to listen to something and do nothing about it. Never in your life receive a word and do nothing about it. Never in your life take a book, read something, and do nothing about it. Whatever that you are going to determine in year 2024, make sure that you do it. You know the difference between, they always say that the difference between where you are and where you want to go is the action.
It's massive action.
You have to get the prophetic word. You have to write down your goals and your resolutions, and just not necessarily jotting them down. Making an intentional decision to do something about what you believe God for. We are living under the sun, and here on earth, if you want things to to see things going in a certain way, you should be able to do something about those things. So for me, if you were to ask me, I think actually I shared something similar in the year past when you were asking me about what do I think about year 2023. And then I said, our very first episode, and then I said, it's going to be exactly how you believe it to be and exactly how you have acted on things that you believed. So really, for me, when you're going through problems and situations, that sounds like bad news because you're like, oh my God, I'm dying in here and they're telling me that I should get myself out of the situation. But when you get out of the situation and your life is becoming beautiful, you actually acknowledge this word as freedom, as authority. It says you have
control.
To
you
take
have the
authority,
power.
absolutely, over your life.
Talking about like the intention to put what you believe in action and to act it out the way you want it to see it pan out, to believe it out. I've seen massive change towards the end of the year where you did, seclusion, and you were in tune with yourself, in tune. I think we talked about it on the last episode. And now, beginning of this year, the intentionality you have even towards reading in the morning, waking up in the morning, making sure things are in right place and being able to execute at that high level. That even pushed me now to go back to my old habit of waking up and creating a daily message, daily insight, which is the segment I have. What for you has been the shift with regards to how you have been doing things in 2023 and now the push to say, this is the kind of action, massive action that I want to take, and you being able to translate the things you read into action, even to bubble your bubble, to burst your bubble. I realized that in the morning, the table in our the study table, I saw that you are reading Embrace Your Greatness, and I've seen you have read so many pages and highlighted so many key points that I see you now putting in action every single day. What has been a shift for you?
Wow, we don't grow younger. We do not grow younger. Nobody gets younger than they are, and I feel that kind of awareness is very key when it comes to how you make decisions regarding your life. You know, when I was in my early 20s, there were certain things that I did, certain sacrifices which I did to place me where I am today. I know a lot of people ask me questions like, how do I get clarity? How do I do this? And you know, a lot of people call me the unconventional lady. I believe that's exactly what I am. And it's sacrifices. It's realizing that you're not getting any younger and putting in place strategies, forming habits that are going to help you become a better person. So when I was in my teens, looking forward to my 20s, there are dreams and visions that I had. And one of them, just to be specific, is go to school and getting my degree. I managed to do that, to push that, and getting both my degree and my master's degree, right? And now getting now and looking at towards my 30s, priorities are different, you know. My desires and my appetites, they change. You can even see when I get into a shop, I mean, comparing to how I used to think when I was in my 20s and now getting into my 30s, things are different. I don't look at maybe the crop tops, nice things and all that. Of course I do sometimes, but you are going to notice that I'm looking at how can I decorate my house, because things have changed, you know. So there are plans and ideas that I have for myself as an individual, and there are also plans and ideas that I have for us in our marriage. And I also have ideas, plans, and intentions that I have for my mentees and people that I coach, for my students. If you know, I'm a coach, I'm also a lecturer, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm his wife, we have kids, you know, so it's, we have a daughter. It's a whole lot of things. This diversified person needs diversified information to stay at the top of my game. And in my mind, based on where I want to go, I can't afford to stay with the same information I had. So for me, the game of evolving comes from what I've also grown to be, how I'm evolving and how diversified I have become. I can't afford to not read, to not know, to not grow, to not be the best version of myself. So I think for me, it has been that.
Yeah, I think it translates back to, one of the things we normally talk about, which is information fatigue.
Yeah.
For a lot of time, when we set goals for the year,
Yeah.
we now refocus into what we can get in than what we can give out. And most of the growth comes in self-expression. And reading a book is not personal development. I remember Mompoloki Makwana said something very powerful. He said, reading a book is not self-development.
Yeah.
Going to a seminar is not self-development. Self-development is the ability and the willingness to put to action things that needs to be removed and things that needs to be put in. And we are talking about massive things like habits. Habits are very powerful. I know there's a book we are currently reading on forming habits and creating new habits. It's waking up at 7. When you said you wake up at 7, that's build momentum.
Yeah.
It's cleaning your room, making your bed before you get out. That really shows significant change. It's you being able to say, normally when I get to a restaurant, I will eat everything that I see, but being chosen, say I'm going to eat 1, 2, 3, and the rest of the money that I know I used to eat, I'll put it in the savings account. I'll put it aside. And I think when it comes to growth, it's a beautiful thing. And when we think of it in a bulk way, we don't know where to eat the pie. But piece by piece, when we are mindful that waking up early, reading this book, being able, on Saturday, where will you go normally? But now you are reducing the time of attention that you are giving to certain things and saying, I'm going to give myself this time to do this, including when we talked about seclusion, being able to have time with yourself, to meditate, being able to have time with God. And I think the more we get in tune with ourselves, the more we are able to grow and the more we are able to experience the liberation of which is self-expression. And I want to say this, which is a revelation for you now, to say you don't have to be in the mix, in the gil and the movement with what people are doing for you to experience growth. Most of the time, people are busy because they are clueless. Most of the time, people are running around doing so many things because there's no clarity. With clarity, like a man who's holding a sniper, they don't have to run around and shoot everywhere.
Yeah, the sniper is
they
focused.
They just pick one place. They just have to do one shot. And sometimes the mistake is we want to do so many things what people are doing.
The Russian roulette kind of a lifestyle.
Because people are doing this, maybe let me do this. You want to seem to be doing. And growth for 2024 for you can be just one application, can just be one event, can just be one encounter, can just be one event, and everything else can fall in place. So I just want to make people aware of that. The power of knowing it's in the small things, small things that can make all a difference. I don't know what your thoughts are around that, with translating what I've read into action, translating what I've seen into a behavior change model, translating what I've heard into something that can be actionable. Just the consciousness of action, and action determined by you, not because other people are rushing in such a way.
But we do. I always talk about living a life of purpose and understanding our uniqueness in life. All of us are unique. I mean, even you and me are so unique. When God created you, He had a specific purpose for you as Mompoloki Makwana. He did the same with me when He created me. And now we coming together. I want to believe. I actually met you. You're on your purpose. And when you met me, I was in my purpose, serving in where I was supposed to be serving. So having that kind of awareness that I'm created for a purpose and there's something that I should be doing, that kind of awareness makes you a different person. Recently, I've been talking a lot about being unconventional and how I think some of my unconventional traits has helped me to be where I am today, mentally, financially, spiritually, in every aspect of my life. The awareness that you are different, your mission is different, your timetable is different, and it will just change your life.
Yeah.
It will change your priorities. When everybody's running around trying to be like everybody,
Yeah.
you stay on your lane.
Yeah.
Because you understand that there are blessings on your lane. Your blessings can't be on another person's lane.
Yeah.
If you just stay focused, if you just, stay in the course, understanding that at the end of the day, this is my life, this is my pace, nobody can have the life that you have.
Yeah.
That's not possible.
The thoughts you have.
The thoughts that you have, the ideas that God
and
puts
the
in your mind,
vision that you have for your
everything.
life. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So that kind of awareness is the one that God is going to help you stay focused and not trying to do what everybody does. Is going to help you not to compete, which I think is a very important key here.
Yeah.
No, it's going to help you not to compete with people, because I feel like most people are caught up in competition.
Yeah.
You see somebody selling fat cakes, you sell fat cakes. You see somebody selling bananas, you sell bananas. You see somebody drinking, you go and drink, but that's not something that I want.
Yeah.
So I feel like everybody should go back to God and ask him this question: God, why am I here?
Yeah.
Why am I here? Why are you keeping me here? Very important question to ask God, and not only to ask him on your way out. When you when you are running, when you have made up your mind,
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to sit back and ask yourself that question of that: what is it that I'm doing here on planet Earth? How can I make the world a better place? And how can I make my life better from how it is?
Yeah.
Sitting back and taking time on your own. What I spoke about from our previous podcast, the power of seclusion. I've done seclusion myself. I'm not going to share specifically how it has helped me, because I have good news coming up that was birthed from that seclusion that God told me, seclude yourself.
Yeah.
And I did seclude myself. I did pray as God was instructing me. I did take time.
Write down what was
Every
directed.
thought that was poured in my mind,
Yeah.
I was jotting it down.
Yeah.
So that's the power of seclusion.
Yeah.
Understand your purpose. Pray about your purpose. Sit back to hear your thoughts and sit back to just hear what God has to say about your life, and stop competing.
Yeah.
And I also want to acknowledge that in that journey of trying to discover who you are, staying the course, focusing on who you want to be, there are detours on the way.
Yeah.
And as I was reading your book,
Yeah.
Embrace Your Greatness, I was actually looking forward to talking about that part.
Yeah.
There is a part where you spoke about what happened when you were writing your first book.
Yes.
It really hit me. You said that when you're writing your first book, you gave a publisher to publish your book. And then they did a substandard work. They didn't do the work right? From printing to editing, everything was not as you wanted it to be. And you had spent money. I was supposed that was the list that you had.
Yeah, 7,000.
Yeah, so by that time, that was a lot of money for you, isn't it?
Finishing from college, no money.
No
looking
money.
for a job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for somebody who doesn't know, that's approximately 600.
Yeah.
That's $600 US,
Yeah.
So you had invested that much in publication of your book, and the publisher disappointed you.
Yeah,
They broke your heart.
they did.
You felt like, oh my God, I'm trying to reinvent myself as an author here. And something unfortunate happened. It didn't go well. Your name was misspelled.
My surname.
Your surname was
Makwana.
Makwama instead of Makwana.
With 150 books printed with that.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
So how do you bounce back from Detours?
Yeah.
I mean, you have captured it in your book, which
Yeah.
I recommend everybody should grab a copy of it, including the second book that you have written. But for our audience, people who watch the Makwanas podcast, they are going through things. They have set resolutions. And I'm asking this
Applied for
question.
jobs.
Yeah, they've applied
Got
for
in
jobs,
positions
etc.
that seemed like they are the right ones.
And they are noticing that things are not going the way they wanted. And I'm asking you this question to tap into your office as a coach, and I really want you to assist somebody at home regarding that.
I love that. It's funny, when you were talking about transition and solution, in my head, in my spirit was bubbling, healing, and healing. Most people, we are trying to make transitions from detours before we heal. Most people are trying to make transitions from broken relationships before we heal. Most people are trying to make transitions job-wise before you heal. Now you are going to bleed at the wrong managers, wrong people, wrong partners. And so it has to take me a journey of sitting down and acknowledging where I went wrong, acknowledging what didn't work out, acknowledging that things sometimes don't turn out the way we want them to turn out, acknowledging that sometimes things can be hard, even for the people we expect to help us. Sometimes it can be too much from the people we expect from them. And so my famous question, who will save the key, comes from the element that sometimes we put people on a pedestal, a service provider on a pedestal, a product provider on a pedestal. Oh, you have to provide this, you said you provide this, but it can be hard, you know, from your home, you know, from your backyard.
And sometimes they don't do it right.
Sometimes they don't do it right. And sometimes things don't just work out. Matthew's law is anything that can go wrong, going wrong. So it's about sitting down and being able not to try to fix things in that moment and acknowledging that sometimes things don't just work out. And when you accept that and you embrace a detour now, you embrace it from a place of understanding that you too can mess up. And when you are standing up now today, moving from a book that was not well published to being a publisher now of more than 50 books now so far since our inception.
Establishing your own publishing house.
Came back to me and said, Mr. Makwana, my book is not this way. And because I know that things can work out wrong, I had to sit down, oh wow, we are sorry for that, can we do this? I know what I wanted when things didn't go out for me. Now I'm able to serve you not from a place, oh, people, but when I know they are bitter. No, they're not bitter. They want something of quality that I must be willing to do. But imagine if I'm not healed. I will be like him. Oh, hey, it's a right? But it's coming from a place of healing. Can you heal? Can you use the first quarter of the year to accept that it didn't work out the way you thought? It didn't go as you wish it would be. But for you to move into the better days we talked about, you must be better in your feelings. You must be better in your emotions. You must be better in your perspectives. You must be better in how you feel about yourself. You must be better in how you look at the world, because you are the window through which you see the world. When it's tainted, it's not the world, it's you. So heal first, and then make resolution from a place of healing.
Whew. There are times where, especially when we are broken, when we are hurt, the first thing that comes to our mind is to show them. To show them, you know, where you're like, oh, you didn't publish my book, to prove to people, to prove people wrong. And once that becomes the focus, and then you are not going to be doing things right. And I loved it when you said that you noticed that your book was not published well. It hurt you, it costed you money. And then you went on to to establishing your own publishing house that has now published hundreds of books. So that is a massive transition. And I think that it reminds me of somebody said that if there is a service that you can't find, start to provide that kind of a service.
If there's a book that you can't find in a shelf.
In a shelf,
write one.
So if there is a level of excellence that you can see, and then maybe there is an opportunity for you to tap into. So what is it that you are noticing that is not well, whether it's in your workplace or at home, things that are not done well? You are if you can notice that there is a problem, you are most likely the right person to.
Most likely, you
are exactly the right person.
What we don't see. You envision what you don't envision. If meetings are not carried well, if the brand is not done right, if the business not marketed well, then your well should be the one that we put forward. Yes, continue.
That's you've said it. I think that you have said it well. When we started having this discussion, Papi, I know that you mentioned about getting to know how we as a couple, as people, we think, and basically in our marriage, right? And you mentioned that the other day you're in the bath, you're in the shower, right? And then I said, I didn't want to share. So maybe just to be specific, it was a towel. I had bought a white towel. So exactly. So that towel, when you're a woman and sometimes you have the kind of acne and all that kind of situation. So I had bought it. It was specifically for my face. So when Mr. Man saw it, he just decided to pick it up and wipe the surface with it. And of course, that got me mad. I was like, you see, that's the reason why I bought something different. I feel like it has been mostly in our home.
Yeah.
It has been a season of getting to know each other.
Yeah.
You know, not as much as we have a lot of beautiful things that had happened in year 2023.
Yeah.
And from the moment that we got married in year 2022, it's also been a moment of getting to understand, like, okay, so you are this cute, but you can do something like this.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of disappointment
Yeah.
that you feel like, oh, but you of all that, you are smart. How can you even do something like this?
Yeah.
You know, so even in marriage, in homes, I think I've got to recognize the same concept that we just discussed right now, where you notice that, okay, my person doesn't really like washing dishes, right?
Yeah.
But I'm the very person who likes to keep their house clean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then instead of maybe just focusing on complaining about it and, you know, playing a pity party,
Yeah.
right, throwing a pity party, you can rise up and start taking care of those things that you notice that they are not
In place.
just putting things in
Done
place. And you know, one of the things that I've recognized with that kind of approach
Yeah.
to things is that maybe, let's say you have a partner who likes just to eat and put the dish there, they don't wash them.
And for you, it's not something.
For you, it's not something that you like, it's not
Yeah.
something that you enjoy. It's going to piss you off.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, if you practice this thing of removing that plate and
Yeah.
putting it in the right place, it eventually starts clicking in their mind that this is not the right way of doing things. I'm saying this specifically because in your case and the example that we gave,
Yeah.
you were able to transition from one publishing house to making your own publishing house, right?
Yeah.
And that is basically you moving away from that relationship and now doing something different. I mean, if maybe it was somebody else, they were going to go to a different publishing house,
Yes.
right? So there are people out there at home, they're listening to us talking about these shifts.
Yeah.
And they're having those kind of situations, those detours. And some of these detours, they're happening within the relationships in their homes, right? It's not every relationship where you're going to wake up and walk out. It doesn't work like that. We are not teaching you a culture of walking out from things.
Yeah.
We are teaching you a culture, or what you call
Adaptation, I think.
adaptation,
Assimilation. Yeah.
and approaching things sometimes from a place of empathy,
Yeah.
recognizing this is where people are missing and this is where I'm good. How can I step up? How can I make things better in that regard? So I thought I should cement on that one.
I think in addition to what we say, when you see that things are maybe not done right, maybe take for a relationship,
Yeah.
you maybe don't like to wash dishes and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and I come in and say, okay, I'll do the dishes.
Yeah.
I realize that it brings a level of quality for someone to serve you best with the things they are great at.
Wow.
Let's talk about, I wake up in the morning, Saturday morning, which is tomorrow. I clean the house, dishes are in place, everything's in place. I clean your ready study table there. When you wake up, you think of creating a wonderful meal for me. A wonderful meal for me makes my day.
Yeah.
It makes your day that the house is clean,
Yeah.
everything's well. And that kind of compliment sometimes is not clear enough. Sometimes the manager does not understand what you want, and the ability to take initiative in that office, in that business, and to do what you can do ultimately inspires other people to take action. In one of my books, which you can pass me there, What Amazing Employees Do, the last one at the bottom there.
Got it.
In this book, What Amazing Employees Do, I talked about something very powerful. Can you guess? I talked about the apes.
Yeah.
That when one ape is full of energy and it is enthusiastic, it jumps from one tree to the next.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, what happens? Other apes, they join it, they make noise. It's a rhythm. Behavior speaks more than words. Behavior sends a strong message.
Yeah.
Behavior is like a powerful bullet.
Yeah.
It pierces through everything just like the word of God. Right? So when we behave a certain way, it is sending a message. Imagine someone who says, "No, I don't like to clean the house," and every day you are waking up, you are cleaning. One day for sure, just one day, you're going to find the person cleaning the house. It's an element of consistency. And sometimes we say, "Oh, I've been watching you." You have been watching. You were not educating. You were not putting the thing to come through as a lesson.
Yeah.
So in this year, don't put the element of, "Oh, I've been seeing you guys doing this. You know, I've seen you guys do that." No. If there is anything that you are not happy about, speak up.
Communicate
But not
it.
just only speaking up. Find ways to model what we say people should do. Find ways to model a behavior that you want your kids to have.
Yeah.
Find a ways to model the behavior you want your spouse to see.
Yeah.
And I think when we are intentional around that, it makes all the difference. And I think all
Wow.
this is coming from a place of there are going to be detours.
Yeah.
In 2024, don't look at detours as the end of your journey. Don't look at detours as the end of your path. And every detour, it's like a slingshot. It's catapulting you back so that you can be thrived forward with
Yeah.
full force.
Yeah.
And once we honor detours as redirections.
Yeah.
I remember we talked about in one episode, we talked about redirection
Yeah.
in last year. So as we honor detours as redirection for a higher calling,
Yeah.
then we embrace every journey that we are taking. So
Yeah.
I'm just challenging people to view detours that way. I don't know what message we have before we jump into the conclusion.
Wow, I feel like challenges are blessings in disguise.
Yeah.
When challenges present themselves,
Yeah.
that's an opportunity presenting itself in
True,
disguise,
true.
you know. So, and also when I was listening to you, I felt this what we just discussed right now
Yeah.
is very pivotal in marriages,
Yeah.
in relationships. Knowing where to complement each other. It is the only thing that actually is going to make the home to stand, and that is going to help you to be happy
Yeah.
at home. I recently shared with you one of the things that God had spoken to me about us, right? A couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And I've recognized that maybe when you do something, I will tell you about it. Hey, papi, blah, 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 right? And then sometimes I'm looking at your face and you know how you go.
Okay.
You know? And I can see you are not even listening to what I'm saying and you're not going to do anything about it. So during my time of prayer, one of the times of prayer, God started to show me what I used to do when we were dating, right?
Yeah.
And what I actually have been doing recently.
As a married couple.
As a married couple. And one of those things was I started telling you a lot of things of, oh, baby, you should fix this. Papi, why don't you do this? Papi, did you notice this? Blah, blah, blah. Talking to you, you know. And I noticed that is not what I used to do. And God showed me, when you met him, you spoke over his life.
Yeah,
you
over his
decreed,
destiny.
yes.
Yeah.
And in as much as I've been praying for you, I didn't notice that
Shift.
that
Yeah.
okay, I'm praying for you, but I'm also I'm speaking over you, but mostly what is actually causing like those little conflicts is me telling you things that you don't want to be told. So when I shifted and I started speaking over you, and sometimes I'll just pray it live even when you are there, sometimes when you are not there, you know, I started seeing the massive shifts, and you've been giving me even more money.
Yes.
You've been super, super nice and amazing. And then God reminded me of what he said, that speak over him, model it to him, instead of, you know, being the lecturer. I think now I was taking my lecturing job into my home and, you know, taking the CEO into the home. And I'm glad that God had shown me that before the year ended. Yeah, it is. And I was actually mind blown because I didn't see it. For me, I felt like we are talking, we're having conversations.
You have to talk.
I have to talk about it
Not
because
everything you need to
conversation.
talk.
No, it's not everything that we
Talk
need to
over it.
talk. You have to speak over people, even your kids, when they're not performing well at school. There's time to talk to them and to guide them through, and there is a time to speak over their lives, and you have to do it consistently. You are smart. You're not asking for their permission
you're
to
telling
say,
them,
I
you're
agree or I
declaring.
don't. You are declaring this over their lives. There is a time to pray for your kids, and there is a time to help them, and there is a time to tell them, I don't like it when you do this. And I feel like everybody in
Most of the time
marriage,
we are talking over.
Yes, and people get tired when you talk to them, but when you
And
talk
they
over them,
resent you.
yeah, when you talk over them, they don't necessarily do that. I don't want you to agree a lot on that because I'm still going to talk to you about certain things that I'm not happy about. But for me, that was the biggest revelation, to talk over you, to pray over you and to do it more. Sometimes you think you are doing it. Sometimes God just wants you to go deeper. And when he wants you to go deeper, it doesn't mean you're not doing enough. It means there is more that can be done.
I think the shift from talking to I think what a promotion, what you can't transfer. You take the battle to your own capability.
Yes.
But when you speak over it, you are accompanied by faith and you're giving the battle to God.
Yeah.
And sometimes we think like, oh, you mean pray? No. Speaking over, the promotion is there. Things are working. This is that.
I'm blessed. I'm
blessed.
smart.
Yeah.
I deserve this. The Lord is lifting me up by affirming.
And speaking over your manager, my manager is treating everyone equally. Because there are things sometimes that can steal your voice, the misjudgment, the mistreatment of other colleagues.
Yeah.
And when you are favored, my manager is equally treating everyone equally. We are seeing favor in this workplace.
Yeah.
And it's powerful.
Speaking
and I'm
over
speaking
people.
Over the podcast. This podcast
Yes,
touching millions
it's
of
touching
people.
millions of
In
people.
Jesus'
We
name.
decree and we declare that as you are watching it,
Yes.
you will not be the same.
Amen.
We don't want you to just come and join the multitude and become
No.
statistics.
No.
We don't want statistics
Yeah.
here. We believe to God that this podcast is going to transform people's lives.
Yeah.
And we believe that as you are watching it, you are becoming a better version of yourself.
Amen.
That is why always we are looking forward to you to hit that subscribe button, to leave a comment and share the things that have resonated with you.
Yeah.
Because we are building a community of lovers,
Amen.
a community of victors,
Yeah.
a community of just different people, unconventional people, a community of people who value growth, a community of people who value God.
Yeah.
So this is what the Makwanas podcast is all about.
You've said it better than I can say it. Ladies and gentlemen, in our conclusion, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Please do leave a comment. What was your takeaway from all this episode? What did you take away? Before we close, I would like to give stage to the First Lady, the unconventional woman, Nikita Makwana, to talk about the program that now the website is up. You can now register. I think our producer will focus the camera on her now to talk about the new program now that is ongoing. That the registration is now open. I can't wait. I feel like I should.
This one, I actually have to take the second seat because
The unconventional woman. She's bringing an unconventional program.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be great. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So, over the past years, people have been asking me a
Yeah.
whole lot of questions. How do I do this? How do I manage to break through in my career?
Yeah.
How do I find my purpose in life?
How do I shift
How
from
do I shift?
school to career building?
Exactly.
How do I shift from the job that I'm working in to make transition, not
Yeah.
only to another job, but
Yeah.
to follow my purpose and establish businesses?
So that I can serve with excellence, I can be enthusiastic, and my impact can be felt everywhere I go.
Yeah.
When people are asking me these questions, I've always looked around to try to find how can I help people, and I've realized that actually I've been doing that in different programs
Yeah.
that as a lecturer, when I go out coaching people in the corporate, and this year. Actually, from last year, I've been thinking about it and putting it together. I've come up with an amazing program that is going to transform your life for the best. It's called the Unconventional Circle. At the Unconventional Circle, I'm just going to help you how to be an excellent person, how to discover your purpose, as we have just specified and stated the things that we are going to be focusing on. Don't miss it. It's a 3-month program. You just hit the link. I'm going to share the link on the description section.
Yeah.
You click and then you can sign up for it. These 12 weeks of your life are going to be amazing. And because the program is beginning on the 3rd week of January,
Yeah.
I'm going to touch on our very first week on how to set goals for the year 2024.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you how to make those goals that you can achieve. How can you use the little that you have to move from point A to point B? I'm telling you right now, it is something that as a young person, you are going to look back in your 40s, in your 50s and say, I am glad I became a part of the Unconventional Circle. Don't miss it. Join it. 3rd week of January, we are kickstarting and lives are going to be transformed. Am I not excited?
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Excited.
Looking
Ladies
forward
and
to this
gentlemen,
one.
Thank you so much. I don't want to say anything else, but make sure you register for the TAG 24, the first cohort of its kind, the unconventional circle.
We are gonna
you
live.
are going to be unconventional.
Unconventional,
So,
different,
yeah.
amazing, powerful, successful, whatever that you've always wanted to achieve for your life. I've done that actually in my 20s and I'm feeling good about it, and I believe that I'm the right person to help you. So don't act like you're not looking forward to it. Just click that button and be a part of TAG 2024.
Yeah, all right. A big shout out to Cresta for hosting us for
Yeah.
this episode and the previous episode. We are grateful. Thank you so much. Make sure you click that subscription button so that we are able to continue to see other episodes from episode 1 to the latest episode. Thank you so much. Remember, we have copies of our books available. What Amazing Employees Do for Professionals. It's available for you. We also have Embrace of Greatness. Create your own economy. Do something for yourself today. It's available. We have Personal Leadership for Teenagers, which is also available for your consumption. The last part, you're looking at me like that. The last part, we
I'm
have
admiring
the
you.
Employee Africa. Employee Africa magazine is available. Make sure you check our social media pages. Employee Africa Facebook, Employee Africa LinkedIn. You'll see the link where you can download our latest magazine.
And I think we can put it on the description section as well.
I will.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. And always behind the camera, we have amazing people making sure that we look as beautiful as you can see us. So shout out
Big shout out to
our
Memories.
team that
Yeah.
are amazing, that are doing amazing works. We can't do this without a team, you know.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for watching. See you on the next episode. Bye.